Hello everybody, this is Reddy and today we'll be walking through my assignment for week 2 for GIS&T. That would be on maps at different map scales, projections and coordinate systems. So we all know the basic definitions of map scales, projections and coordinate systems. So in today's assignment, I am representing one large scale map and two small scale map. Just on a small side note, small scale and large scale are very inverse with their naming standards. Small scale maps usually represent a larger area, and on the inverse, larger scale represent a very smaller area with greater detail. So moving on, coming to projections. Projections are, as we all know, just a 2D representation of a 3D Earth. Although our maps today don't have projections on a greater detail, we do talk about projections when we come to the map, and as a point in reference, we have a cone projections, which are also known as conformal projections, which have distortions but which cannot be observed, and we will talk about why we cannot observe the distortion in our maps in just a few seconds. So coming to the coordinate system, in spite of there being multiple coordinate systems, we are sticking with the basic latitude and longitude systems, wherein the numbers on the screen represents Maine, which is a place in the United States just near New Hampshire. So coming to our first large scale map, that would be of a Turkey, which is representing the heat map of a earthquake, which is also frequently confusing with a thematic map, and we'll be talking about why it is not a thematic map and a heat map at the end of the presentation. As we can see at the bottom of this map, there are two things to be observed. One would be the red intensity scale, that is ranging from 0 to 1, which would be representing the intensity of the earthquake, and 2, the scale, which is 400 kilometers. That means to say that one unit in this map is equivalent to 400 kilometers. So as we can see, it is spread over a wide range, and there is a range of color difference ranging from white to dark red being the highest intensity of an earthquake. So moving on, this would be the end of our small scale map, and the next two will be our large scale map. As confusing as it is, large scale maps have a very great detail in them. The next and the current large scale map that we have, we'll be talking about how they are different and why we have selected a very old map which ages in somewhere around 1800s. So this current map is a map which differentiates counties and which has a distortion, but we cannot see the distortion because since it's a large scale map, it is zoomed into a scale wherein the scope is very specific. If we just zoom out and if we see the entire world as it is in a very large scale map, we can see how distorted this map would be, which again is explained by Professor very specifically in his videos. So this map is mainly representing the railroads, the canal system and other water irrigation systems, and a few other things which can be seen down here, along with the scale, which is not visible, but it is, if we can observe, it is somewhere around 500 miles in its units. So moving on to the next map, we have a very specific map which describes the river system and the mountain ranges of Maine. So here we can see the latitude and longitude, though not very specifically. We can see that it is somewhere around 40 to 50, and as we told previously, the latitude and longitude range for this would be 45.2 to 69.44. So my numbers were wrong there. Apologies on that. So moving on. So as we initially started out, we I had a few questions that I thought would pop up on a person who's watching this video as to why we are not using a world map and we are going very specifically on each country or a state in the United States, for to be specific. So the reason being, I just wanted to show how a large scale and a small scale map would differentiate, and I wanted something specific to be shown. In this case, I wanted to show you guys a heat map in a small scale map, and also a map that would differentiate things on a large scale map. So why a old map? So we all have our reasons for choosing the most latest maps, which would give you everything in detail. So I wanted to go around looking for a map which has aged a bit so that I could dig up some details on it, which was really interesting. So coming to why my previous question as to why the Turkey map was a heat map and not a thematic map. As the statement states here, heat maps are a very good representators for intensity, whereas thematic maps are more for concentration, which are modified as soon as the boundary changes. So that would be the end of my presentation, guys. Thank you very much. And if you have questions, please do leave them in the comments below, and I'll be looking forward to your feedbacks. Thank you. Have a good day.